In this video, we will discuss phonemic awareness. This video was created by faculty in the literacy education program at Appalachian State University. And should you have any additional questions, please reach out to Jenny McCurry at the email address on your screen. Phonemic awareness is the ability to hear or identify and manipulate individual sounds within a word. It's a child's ability to notice or think about and work with those individual sounds, their conscious attention to the smallest units of sounds in spoken words. And so if you were to work with a young child, they might hear the word cat and hear one sound, cat. But we know that cat is made up of three distinct individual sounds. Each letter in that word, C-A-T, represents an individual sound, okay? And so it is our goal to help children become aware of each of those sounds and to help them learn to manipulate those sounds by blending them into words. So k, at, cat, or segment the sounds within the word to give them the word cat and then have them stretch those individual sounds out into k, at. We could eventually get to what is a more sophisticated or complex skill, which includes deleting or manipulating sounds. So maybe saying the word cat without the k sound, which would leave you with at, or changing the final consonant from t to p, which would result in the word cap. We also know that children become aware or conscious of different sounds in a word in a predictable pattern. And so they are aware of the initial consonant first, meaning if I were to give them a word and the word is cat, they're going to hear or be aware of that initial consonant, that first very salient sound first. K. If I were to ask them what other sound they hear in that word, the next thing that they're going to attend to is the final consonant, cat. And then they'll come back and pick up that medial vowel. That will be the last thing that they're usually aware of in a word. So why is phonemic awareness and developing phonemic awareness in your emergent readers important? Well, we know that it predicts later decoding abilities and reading comprehension. We also know that many reading problems can be traced back to a deficit in phonemic awareness. We know that without the ability to discriminate phonemes, mapping phonemes to letters is not possible. So this is going to impact their decoding and their reading ability, but it will also affect their ability to encode or to write, to spell. We know that many children naturally develop a sensitivity to phonemes because, as we discussed earlier in this series, our brains are wired to understand spoken language, but we also know that explicit instruction is essential. And so we can capitalize on the fact and take advantage of the fact that our brains are wired for oral language, but we do need to make sure that we are explicitly teaching phonemic awareness. We know that as children learn the alphabet, they will need these skills, and that it doesn't, while it is an auditory task, it is an oral task. And anytime that you're assessing a child's phonemic awareness abilities, you are to do so without text or print at all, meaning you should be able to practice these and assess these skills with your eyes closed or in a dark room. We also know that once children are working with letters, they are better served if you begin to incorporate letters into these tasks. Children don't need to have mastered phonemic awareness before they become before they're ready to learn the alphabet and begin to read some words. And so because all of this develops reciprocally and builds on everything else, we can combine these when the time is right to do so. So again, phonological and phonemic awareness both are auditory skills and should always be assessed in the absence of print so that you're truly assessing what you say you're assessing, whether it be phonological or phonemic awareness, and not reading or spelling, which is something related but different. You can choose to add letters to the activities if you know that the child is ready for that, and it will help aid in their development.